Liverpool v everybody. It's Tuesday. It's nice weather for a change, and I think that's sort of compelled me to come on and just talk a bit about the Reds. And I've had some time to, I won't say get over it, but just think about it a little bit more and come back sort of with a calmer sort of energy, I would say, and just give my opinions on some things. I want to just start from the top and work to the bottom. The top meaning the club itself, the owners, then the manager, then the players. And starting with the owners, listen, we've been so successful lately, and I think that's given the owners a bit of or maybe even given us a bit of a false sense of security, and in terms of what this team is capable of doing, what this team will do, in terms of supporting the manager, doing everything they can to prepare themselves for situations like we have now. And when you think about it from the jump, it seems like Klopp has always had to try to fit a player somewhere else. Now, it's one thing to have a player who can play multiple positions, but it's another thing when, it's crying out for certain things to be done. Certain moves to be made, certain players to be brought in. And it feels like the only way this team can really, really comfortably move forward, comfortably invest and prepare and make moves from a top a winning position is to get new owners. But unfortunately, I can't see that happening. FSG are making a lot of money in sports, and in Liverpool, it's just one other cash cow for them. So I really can't see them stepping down or accepting a bid to be bought out or anything like that. I just can't see it. I think they're happy where they are, and if Liverpool falter, it's not really going to hurt them too much, I think, is what they have in their mind, whether that's true or not. When you win a league, when you win a Champions League, World, what is it? World Club Cup, Club World Cup, whatever it's called. When you win all that stuff, you're so successful, the trophies and everything, after you haven't done any of that in so long, you have to make moves to continue to put yourself in a place of success. You can't just fall back and say, next summer. You have to strengthen, or you have to do better from a position of strength. It's clear that we don't have the funds that Chelsea has, City, United, even Aston Villa and Everton at this point. It feels that way anyway. But you have to make those moves and make them ASAP, as soon as possible. There's no reason to be holding off on that and waiting and just hoping that things will be okay. To go and get Thiago, to go and get Jota, huge signings. Over the moon about that. But to not bring in a center back and then to wait till the last day of the transfer window in January to do it, it just stinks of lack of preparation. And it just stinks of a very lackadaisical, I don't give a damn approach. That's just what it feels like. So, with all the injuries we have, we get it. And I've said it before. Any team in world football, they had as many injuries as we had, as consistent as we're getting them. Your whole defense is depleted. The players you put into defense to help you are depleted. No team. I mean, look, retaining the title after all that, it would be the biggest miracle in the world. So you're not expecting that. But I'm tired of that being an excuse. You know what I mean? We still have a team full of world-class talent. That's what we've always been saying. We can't change that now. And, I think one of the only players that I don't want to say gets a pass, but you just kind of feel from him is Genie Wijnaldum. He's been playing so much football, and there's no real opportunity for him to get a rest. And all the guys have been playing football, and the mental fatigue and all, I get it. But this last match against Everton, there's just no excuse. This is a team in Everton who pretty much was the Kickstarter for the downfall. All of the injuries, not all the injuries, but one of the biggest injuries we had, which was their goalkeeper taking down our center back in the box, finishing his season. Thiago being taken out in that game by Richarlison, I think it was, and you show up and play like that at home, losing to Everton is, it can happen. It's football. But the way we played, just the lack of hunger, fight, I mean, that's what's so embarrassing and so hard to take. A loss you can lose. We've been losing, but to lose that way is just, it's hard to accept. Moving on to Klopp, as great as the manager Klopp is, and look, again, I know all the things that have gone personal with him and the tragedy and all that. I get it. But you have got to, this is where you show your managerial chops. Or quite frankly, if it's too much, and I don't want to be harsh or anything, but if the death of his mother and if this is too much, you can't really knock a guy for just stepping down. If it's really that, if it's too much, because something just isn't clicking, man. And I don't know what it is, but for these guys not to be applying themselves and to not be out for blood against this Everton team in a derby, that I mean, you got to question everything. But the manager takes some questioning as well. I'll get to players in a minute, but switch up the tactics, switch up the formation. Go for broke at this point. At this point, you really have not much to lose. That's how I look at it. I mean, we've been so bad this season for the majority of it that there's not really much to lose. Switch it up, man. This is where you show your chops. If you really got, managerial coaching, pedigree, you have to switch things up. We've been found out over and over and over again. It's so easy to play against us. You frustrate us defensively. And this is going back to where we were saying Klopp has no plan B. Then we started having success. And let's just remember, a lot of the times under Klopp, it was something we would get from set pieces that would really get us going. You know what I mean? When Van Dijk was fit, or whoever. It was more so us getting, a lot of goals were coming from set pieces. We're not even getting that at all. I mean, winning a set piece these days is a joke because there's probably not much going to come from it. You know what I mean? And so you can't really get excited to get a set piece outside the box or a corner or anything like that because pretty much nothing's going to come from it. So, what's happened with the front three, it's atrocious. It really is. And there's really no excuse for it besides the fact that we all know play a lot of games, fatigue, whatever. And again, that goes back to the ownership. We got Jota in, he's hurt. But, you see what Minamino's doing in Southampton, and it's just like, it's crazy. So, I think Klopp just really has to shake things up. I don't care how drastic or crazy it looks. Shake something up because it's looking drastic and crazy now. So, again, you can't get any worse than this. So you might as well just try something different. Try a different approach. Try a different sort of form of attack. Try something that's going to, surprise teams. You got to have – we're losing that element of surprise at this point. At this point, I think people are just licking their chops when they see Liverpool coming to town or they come to Liverpool. That long streak we had is just – you almost forget we had it because now we're starting a streak and trying to break records on games lost in one season on the trot, so on the spin. So, it's just Klopp has got to take some fault. And he's got to just change some things, man. You've got this, and the guys that come off the bench, how can we really expect them to do anything? The men thrown in there last minute, go do something magical for us. They're not really playing that much. Throw in an Ox from the beginning. Naby's back. Throw him in from the beginning. Throw Shaq in from the beginning. Firmino going forward for me and for the future, he just can't be your 9. He can't be your central attacking player. He can't be anymore. And it's nothing against him. I love Bobby like everybody else. That goes without saying. But that is irrelevant. Play him in a 10. Hell, play him in the midfield. Somebody mentioned that on Redman TV, kind of playing him in that genie role, which basically, when you look at it, they both do similar jobs. And they both at times, probably more so Genie than Firmino, but lately Firmino more than anybody, take really tame, odd strikes at goal when they get the chances. So, I don't know what needs to be done about the manager, but as a supporter, if we can see that, if people can see that something needs to change, why hasn't Klopp seen that and made the change? It doesn't make any sense to me. So, hopefully we can see that change at some point, whatever that change may be. It's hard to really think of. If we had some more center backs, I think something maybe like a 3 at the back, 3-4-3. I don't know, but 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, something. Show some creativity. Show your managerial chops, and that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. The players, last but not least, have got to take a bit of this blame as well. At the end of the day, through everything, they've got to perform on the pitch. And I've said it before. The thing is, we are creating chances, and enough of them in certain games to win the game or to get something out of the game, and it's just not falling. It's just not going for us. But that's all to do with confidence. And even when you have a game like Leipzig, let's be real. Leipzig, that game was, and I said it before, that was based off 2 really bad mistakes from the opposing team, from the opposition, and we capitalized, which is cool. But can we really even be confident necessarily that we're going to finish this up in the second leg? I don't know. So the players have got to, hold themselves accountable and look themselves in the mirror, because it's just not good enough. It's not good enough, man. And these are world-class players. There's no more. I can't really accept any more from Mane and his this bad string of performances. Him and Firmino. Salah is still leading the league in goals. Obviously leading goals, goal getter for us. He hasn't been great either, though. Really, I mean, but those other two, they've got to step up. It's just not good enough, man. And there's a time where you would say, between Mane and Salah, you can kind of, in my opinion anyway, once upon a time you could say Mane is a guy you can depend on. He will step up. He will make something happen one way or another, but he's not even doing that. And it's just not good. It's just not good. So looking forward to seeing all those different pieces. I mean, the ownership is the ownership, and honestly, that's just what we're stuck with for some time. I can't see that changing. But Klopp's got to change some things, and the players have got to shake up. I mean, they've got to just do the business, man. It's but so much, you can do at a certain point where, you're given kind of the script, and you've got to go perform on the stage. So that's me, man. Just some thoughts about the squad. Leave your comments, leave your thoughts, questions, whatever in the comment section. And look forward to seeing you at Sheffield.